सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रजारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चात देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शिष्य इंग्लिश एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर इंग्लिश भक्ति सिद्धांत स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नावाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौ भक्तों की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर धाम की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय। मथुरा धाम की जय। मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगामयी जमुनामयी की जय। तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gaurang.
Welcome everybody to Srimad Bhagavatam with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. It is Monday, September 22nd, 2025, and today we're starting with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, Text 4. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay. Beginning with text 4.
Yes.
Okay, I will begin. Guruvad yantrita sabya bashra yan nata kandara vidivat pujayam chakre grihitad yar hanasanam. Translation. When the great sages accepted their reception according to the instructions of the Shastras, and finally took their seats offered by the king, influenced by the glories of the sages, immediately bowed down. Thus he worshipped the 4 Kumaras. Purport. The 4 Kumaras are Parampara, spiritual masters of the Vaishnava Sampradaya. Out of the 4 Sampradayas, namely Rama Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya, and Rudra Sampradaya, the disciplic succession of spiritual master to disciple, known as the Kumara Sampradaya, is coming down from the 4 Kumaras. So Prithu Maharaj was very respectful to the Sampradaya Acharyas, as it is said by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. Shakshad Darit Vena Samashta Shastrer. A spiritual master or the Parampara Acharya should be respected exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Vidivat is significant in this verse. This means that Prithu Maharaj also strictly followed the injunctions of the Shastra in receiving a spiritual master or Acharya of the transcendental disciplic succession. Whenever an Acharya is seen, one should immediately bow down before him. Prithu Maharaj did this properly. Therefore, the words used here are Ashrayanata Kandara. Out of humility, he bowed down before the Kumaras. Would anybody like to comment here?
I think it's straightforward. The 4 Kumar came in and Prithu Maharaj just go down, give the respect, and just like when our spiritual master comes, we bow down and give them respect. So he did the same thing. He didn't think himself as a incarnation of Satyavish Avatar or incarnation of Krishna or anything else. He just did his duty and bow down to them, to 4 Kumaras. Thank you.
Yes, Bantapuru.
Okay.
Can you read the next text, please?
Sure. Text 5. Tatpada Shucha Salilera Marjalak Bandana Tatra Shiva Vatam Archan Tatra Shiva Vatam Vruttam Archan Manayana Iva. After this, the king took the water which had washed the lotus feet of Kumaras and sprinkled it over his hair. By such respectful action, the king, as an exemplary personality, showed how to receive a spiritually advanced personality. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Apne Achari Prabhu Jivera Sikhaya. It is very well known that whatever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught in his life as Acharya, he himself practiced. When he was preaching as a devotee, although he was detected by several great personalities to be the incarnation of Krishna, he never agreed to be addressed as an incarnation. Even though one may be an incarnation of Krishna or especially empowered by him, he should not advertise that he is an incarnation. People will automatically accept the real truth in due course of time. Prithu Maharaj was the ideal Vaishnava king. Therefore, he taught others by his personal behavior how to receive and respect saintly person like the four Kumaras, the Kumaras. When a saintly person comes to one's house, it is a Vedic custom first to wash his feet with water and then sprinkle this water over his head of oneself and one's family. Prithu Maharaj did this for he was an exemplary teacher of the people in general. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjalakaya Chakshurmiti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So further is described here that Prithu Maharaj did what is necessary for a great soul, for the great soul to welcome him, especially four Kumaras. And here in purport, Prabhupada talks about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never said himself as Krishna himself, although his associates knew about him, but he never told anybody or advertised himself as a combination of Radha and Krishna. And whenever somebody says, "Oh, you are Krishna himself or Vishnu himself," he closed his ears and chanted the name of Vishnu. So Lord Chaitanya never agreed to be addressed as an incarnation. And Prithu Maharaj here also be a humble devotee of Krishna or Vishnu. He never advertised himself as a Saktya Avatar or anything. He just did his duty as a regular person and welcome four Kumaras and sprinkle the water on his head and to his family also. One should do that, yeah. And this is, it says, Prithu Maharaj did this for he was an exemplary teacher of people in general. So we can follow Prithu Maharaj in that direction. Whenever we meet somebody, some spiritual master or guru, or in particular Prabhupada disciples, we should offer them full respect. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Our next text, Saraswati Mashi, would you like to take the next text?
Pranams to all the Vaishnavas. Text 6. Hatakshana asinan swadishnashev eva pavakan shraddha samyam samyuktaha prita praha bhavgrajan. A translation. The four great sages were elder to Lord Shiva, and when they were seated on the golden throne, they appeared just like fire blazing on an altar. Maharaj Prithu, out of his great gentleness and respect for them, began to speak with great restraint as follows. Purport. The Kumaras are described herein as the elder brothers of Lord Shiva. When the Kumaras were born out of the body of Lord Brahma, they were requested to get married and increase the population. In the beginning of the creation, there was a great need of population. Therefore, Lord Brahma was creating one son after another and ordering them to increase. However, when the Kumaras were requested to do so, they declined. They wanted to remain brahmachari throughout life and be engaged fully in the devotional service of the Lord. The Kumaras are called Nashtiki brahmachari, meaning they are never to marry. Because of their refusal to marry, Lord Brahma became so angry that his eyes became reddish. From between his eyes, Lord Shiva or Rudra appeared. The mode of anger is consequently known as Rudra. Lord Shiva also has a Sampradaya party known as the Rudra Sampradaya, and they are also known as Vaishnavas. Om Gyanantimirindasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. We are learning how to speak to great devotees, and the word used here is samyam, which means with restraint, as Prithu Maharaj did. Not that one becomes loud and gives the mind free rein to blabber on, and with the aim of inflating one's own self-importance, excuse me, rather than treating the revered guest as some showpiece. So Prithu Maharaj is, of course, with great humility and following Maryada. With Maryada is the appropriate social etiquette that has limits within it, and guides you how to behave properly. So Prithu Maharaj followed all these Maryada guidelines, and in fact he exhibited great humility, conveying to these great souls how aware he is of his own good fortune to receive them and to have an opportunity to serve them, and that he is so anxious to please them. So we are shown this. Srila Prabhupada talks about this. Also, we know how the Chatusan, the four Kumaras, refused to procreate. They preferred, in fact, to stay in a suspended body of age 5, young brahmacharis. And the Naishtiki brahmacharis, they are actually promoted to Tapalok if for one reason or another they haven't finished the path of self-realization and complete purification and liberation that enables them to go to the spiritual world. At any rate, they're guaranteed to go to Tapalok, one of the four topmost planets in the planetary system. The text describes how when the four Kumaras sat on their royal throne, they resembled a blazing fire. The word Bhavakan is used. Their bodily effulgence was so bright that I've heard it said that in fact the bodily effulgence of the residents of the upper four lokas have such a glare to it that even a newly minted Indra, upon seeing them, once mistook the four Kumaras as Vishnu Tattvas due to this great bright effulgence. And we, of course, are told about the other different bona fide sampradayas, one of them being the Rudra Sampradaya. Of course, the great Acharya Vishnu Swami descends from this sampradaya, and currently it's known as the Valpacharya Pushtimarg Sampradaya. And we understand how the four Kumaras have their own sampradaya, primarily through the preeminent Acharya Nimbarka. And I today, actually, coincidentally enough, I was reading about this Nimbarka Sampradaya because I wanted to learn a little bit more about them. Gurudev did say in the last class that it's a small cluster of devotees who've descended from this parampara located in Vrindavan. So I wanted to know more about Nimbarka Acharya. And hopefully I can read a little bit about what I've learned, because it's very, very interesting. Apparently, from a very young age, there's Nimbarka Acharya. He was extraordinary in his ability to assimilate all the knowledge of the Vedas, the Puranas, and he was actually he was blessed with having the darshan of Lord Shiva, who he felt very attached to in the beginning. And Lord Shiva actually directed him to the four Kumara brothers who were meditating, and instructed Nimbarka Acharya to take initiation from the four Kumara brothers. And so he did follow the directions of Lord Shiva. And when he saw the four Kumar brothers, he saw them in meditation. He saw this bright, very bright effulgence of the four Kumaras as well. And while they were sitting, and so it amazed him so much to see these bright, bright personalities. He cried, Hare Krishna. And they opened their eyes from meditation, and he offered, of course, his Dandvat Pranams, fell right at their feet, and begged for their mercy and to be accepted by them, and which they were very happy to do. So it's just to read a little bit about them. So the four Kumaras gave Nimbarka the Radha Krishna mantra, introduced him to the method of worshipping Radha and Krishna with the sentiments of great love called Bhava Marga. So in that sacred forest, Nimbarka began to worship Sri Sri Radha Krishna just according to how the Sanat Kumara and the other brothers had directed, and he chanted the mantra that they gave him. And very soon, Radha and Krishna revealed themselves to Nimbarka. They stood before him, spreading an effulgence which illuminated all directions. In sweet voices, they addressed him, Nimbarka, you are very fortunate, for you have performed sadhana in Sri Navdvip. We both will combine and assume one form as the son of Sachi Mata. At that moment, Radha and Krishna combined and displayed their form of Gauranga. Beholding this splendid vision, Nimbarka began to tremble. Never, never have I ever seen or heard of such a combined form. Lord Gauranga then said, keep this form which I now show you a secret for the time being. Just preach about devotional service and the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And when I make my appearance and perform my educational pastimes, you will also appear. Taking birth in Kashmir as a great Pandit, you will tour all over India, defeating all opposition. Your reputation and learning will be celebrated everywhere, and you will be known as Keshava Kashmiri. And those who have participated in our Chaitanya Charitamrita Sangha on Thursdays will recall how we read about Keshava Kashmiri, who was specifically blessed by Mother Saraswati, and he was such an opponent that no one could defeat him. But while wandering, Lord Gauranga continues, while wandering in Sri Navdvip, you will come to Sri Mayapur. Simply by hearing your name, all the great Pandits of Navdvip will flee. But intoxicated with scholastic pride, I will take pleasure in defeating you. However, by the mercy of Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, you will realize my true identity again. Giving up your false pride, you will take shelter of me, and I will reward you with the supreme gift of loving devotional service, and you will once again be dispatched to preach. Thus, you can satisfy me by preaching the philosophy. Keep my identity a secret. In the future, when I begin my Sankirtan movement, I will personally preach, taking the essence of your philosophy and the philosophy of Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, and Vishnu Swami, the other acharyas of the other three sampradayas who will also help in preaching. So I thought that was very, very interesting to tie up Keshav Kashmiri with what we had read, and learning that in fact he is Nimbarka Acharya. And yes, so these are some of my comments. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that was very nice of you to share all these detail. And I'm really surprised that Keshav Kashmiri himself was Nimbarkacharya. Wow. So, where did you get this from?
Um, Let me see. I got it from, well, it's from the ISKCON Desire Tree, where you get bona fide, legitimate information. It's not, a simple Google, Wikipedia information. I always try to get my information from the bona fide source, our ISKCON, of course. So that is where I got this information. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you very much, because this is the first time I heard, and it's very interesting how Keshav Kashmiri was defeated by Lord Chaitanya, and he humbly accepted the defeat, and then later on, as you said, he made this Nimbark Sampradaya.
Yes, and I don't know who those devotees who have subscribed to Back to Godhead, the latest magazine that came out, actually talked so much about, Narada Muni, and how he has his special kund in the Vraj. Of course, we know Narada Muni is the multi-dimensional spaceman. He can go anywhere and everywhere. And in fact, he has these different expanded forms in different rasas. So the reason I bring this up is because currently there is a subsect of the Nimbarka Sampradaya, a lineage, the Haridas lineage, it said, who is taking care of the lake where Narad Muni actually performed his meditation, and in fact that's where he brought Kayadu, Prahlad Maharaj's mother, there as well. So it's an Nimbarka Sampradaya followers that are actually taking care of this kunj, and they have apparently a very beautiful deity of Shri Shri Radha Nikunj Bihari, life-size deities, and they also have deities of the four Kumaras and Narad Muni. And that interested me because I wanted to tie in how Narad Muni came in association or in contact with the Nimbarka Sampradaya, and in fact Narad Muni also did give Bhagavad and whether it was Bhagavatam recitation or, well, he definitely gave knowledge on devotional service to the followers of the Nimbarka Sampradaya too. So somehow or another he's connected into this Sampradaya as well. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, we have something in the chat here. Banu and Kanti NT writes, Saraswati Devi. So are followers of Shiva, who are known as Shaivites, different from Rudra Sampradaya, because the purports calls followers of Rudra Sampradaya Vaishnavas. What is the difference?
Yes, there are followers known as Shivites, and they're more or less Mayavadis. In their mind, they are convinced that Lord Shiva is the supreme personality. And so their realization, of course, in transcendental knowledge is not the same as the followers, the bona fide followers of the Rudra Sampradaya, which, as I mentioned, Vishnu Swami, his name is mentioned, Srila Prabhupada mentions his name quite a bit in his purports, especially in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So currently, those Vaishnavas, they are bona fide Vaishnavas, are currently led by Valbacharya. Now, he's also mentioned quite a bit in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And sometimes devotees sort of remember him only as one who was severely chastised by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he boasted that his commentaries on the Bhagavatam far excelled that of Sridhar Swami. And of course, we all know the prominent position that Sridhar Swami holds. So, of course, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not going to let one of his devotees be misled and become so puffed up that they think that whatever writing or realizations that they can come up with can defeat that of their previous acharyas. We're always taught that we're supposed to remain humble. We have to give all the credit to all the previous acharyas in the parampara. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu corrected Valpacharya, but we also have to remember he's not an ordinary person, Valpacharya. I've read somewhere, in fact, that he is an incarnation of Sukadev Goswami. In the Vraj, he was a parrot, one of Radharani's beloved parrot, and that he came as Shukdev Goswami. Now, I don't have references on hand to prove this, but I did hear this from a reliable source while I was sitting in class. And his followers that are known as Pushti Marg. Pushti means nourishing. So their Marg, of course, means the pathway to devotion. So they are more or less currently focused on the Vatsalya Bhav, which is in a parental mood. And the reason I can speak a little bit about this is because my family are all followers of Valpacharya, and very strict followers, I should add. My aunts actually lived in Gokula and Jatipura in Vraj almost their entire life. And I was very fortunate to spend a lot of my time, especially my school vacations, with them. So I had the great opportunity and great fortune to see how they practiced the teachings of Valpacharya. So their deity worship, they were always focused on worshipping Krishna in his Bal Swarup. So he's just a little child, and how you want to protect him. You feel this great need that you have to take care of him. You have to make sure he's well fed. Well, you know, that it's just that mood that you're just, you want to really take very good care of him. You're obviously not relating to him on the basis that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but more or less you are worshipping Mother Yashoda, and so that's the bhava they have towards their deity. So it's nothing like the Shivites, who are actually all misled into thinking that Lord Shiva is the Supreme Personality. And I don't have my notes on hand, but I sat in a class. It was called the Goloka Chat class, and we read something about Lord Shiva and how he plays I'm not going to diverge too much, but I did learn quite a bit about his part in the creation of the material cosmos, because we know that along with the 11 Rudras, he expands into 11 Rudras when it comes to the time of annihilation, and Pralay, when it comes to the destruction of the entire cosmos. We know that he plays a huge part. But I don't want to diverge too much, but I found some very interesting details about him, and the fact that those who follow and believe him to be the Supreme Personality, they go to Kailash, and there they are further taken, under the shelter of Lord Shiva. Of course, he knows that they are misled, but we know Lord Shiva is so merciful. Rudra is so merciful. He'll take on people who have all kinds of misgivings and misconceptions and incomplete knowledge, and that even includes ghosts who are not even trying to attain any kind of transcendental knowledge. But he's so merciful. He doesn't turn anybody away. So these particular Mayavadi followers who believe him to be the supreme, all right, so they go to Kailash, and under his guidance, very gradually, he helps them to make progress. So this is what I have heard. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining us. Now we're on text 7 of chapter 22. Banu and Kanti Anti writes, very interesting. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay, Tara Vali Devi Dasi Machi writes, Hare Krishna Saraswati Machi. Dandavat Pranams. Is it possible to please share the link to the ISKCON Desire Tree page where we can read this information you provided about the Nimbarka Sampradaya, if at all possible? Your servant, YS.
My pranams, Param Pujya Gurudev. Yes, I will provide the link. Hare Krishna.
Taravali Machi, are you available to read? Text
Hare
7.
Krishna. I would love to, but I am with my little baby at the moment, so I have a lot of background noise that will probably be a bit too much for my reading.
Okay. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna.
Bridgipurna Madhavi Machi, are you available?
Yes, Prabhuji. Is it text 8? No,
7.
Text 7.
text 7. Okay, text 7. King Prithu spoke, my dear great sages, auspicious is personified. This one?
Yes.
Okay. Prithu Vacha Aho Acharitam Kim Me Mangalam Mangalayana Yassevo Darshanam Hi Asin Durdarsha Nam cha yogi. King Prithu spoke, my dear great sages, auspiciousness personified, it is very difficult for even the mystic yogis to see you. Indeed, you are very rarely seen. I do not know what kind of pious activity I perform for you to grace me by appearing before me without difficulty. When something uncommon happens in one's progressive spiritual life, it should be understood to be incurred by Agyat Sukriti or pious activities beyond one's knowledge. To see personally the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his pure devotee is not an ordinary incident. When such things happen, they should be understood to be caused by the previous pious activities as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7:28. येषां त्वन्तगतं papam jananam punye karmanam. One who is completely freed from all the resultant actions of sinful activities and who is absorbed only in pious activities can engage in devotional service. Although Maharaj Prithu's life was full of pious activities, he was wondering how his audience with the Kumaras happened. He could not imagine what kind of pious activities he had performed. This is a sign of humility on the part of King Prithu, whose life was so full of pious activities that even Lord Vishnu came to see him and predicted that a Kumaras would also come.
Would you like to comment?
I would like to Maharaj to hear. I would like to hear from Maharaj. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Kalnachmira Shikshma Salakaya Shrimini Jaina Tatmai Shri Guru Shri Chandamano Stam Statam Jaina Bhute and Rupa Kamahyam Tati Padat. The good fortune oh Chaditam astonishment is it that I've been able to get the association of great souls among such good fortune. how is it possible that I've been able to have your darshan, darshanam hi ati durshana. You're very, to get your darshan is difficult.
Mara, you are breaking up a little bit.
I think I would to look at restart to get rid of that.
Can we turn video off? Just as a
I
quick.
think it's gonna stop anyway. It's still stopping, right? Stopping or better.
Hard to say at this point. It's,
Well,
I
the
think we
videos. Hare Krishna is theirs.
Oh, it's okay. It's clear,
Okay.
not choppy.
Okay.
For me, I'm turning everybody's video off. If you're wondering why you're.
All right. And I'll restart after this. That's really it. Even for the yogis, the great yogis, it's difficult to get the doctrine of exalted devotees as Kumara. So how is it possible that I've gotten the impression? It must be by some sort of previous pious act. So what is it that I have done to get this good fortune? That's how I'm thinking.
Pretty much, I could hear you, but it was choppy at a certain
Okay.
point.
I'll return. Back in a couple of minutes.
In the purport, in the purport of Bhagavad Gita 7:28, Sri Prabhupada has mentioned that it is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam that if one actually wants to be liberated, he must render service to the devotees. Mahat sevam dwaram ahurumukti. But one who associates with materialistic people is on the path leading to the darkest region of existence. Tamo dwaram yoshitam sangi sangam.
But I would just wait until Guru Maharaj comes back.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Number text 8.
Right. We have Venkatesh Prabhu who joined us. Venkatesh Prabhu, would you like to take text 8?
Okay. Yeah. Just opening the text. Okay. Text 8. किं तस्य दुर्लभतरम् इह लोके परतर च परत्र च यस्य विप्रः प्रसीदन्ति शिवो विष्णुश्च सानुगा. Translation. Any person upon whom the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are pleased can achieve anything which is very rare to obtain in this world as well as after death. Not only that, but one also receives the favor of the auspicious Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu to accompany the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Purport. The Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are the bearers of Lord Vishnu, the all auspicious, as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 538. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vidochaneya Santas Sadaya Hridayeshu Vidochaneya Yam Syam Sundaram Vachindya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. The devotees, out of their extreme love for Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, always carry the Lord within their hearts. Lord is already in the heart of everyone, but the Vaishnavas and the Brahmins actually perceive and see him always in ecstasy. Therefore, the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are carriers of Vishnu. Wherever they go, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, all the devotees of the Lord are all carried. The four Kumaras are Brahmanas and they visited the place of Maharaj Prithu. Naturally, Lord Vishnu and his devotees were also present. Under the circumstances, the conclusion is that when Brahmanas and Vaishnavas were pleased with the person, Lord Vishnu is also pleased. This is confirmed by Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. These 8 stanzas on the spiritual master. Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasad. By pleasing the spiritual master, who is both Brahmana and Vaishnava, one pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pleased, then one has nothing more to achieve either in this world or after death.
Would you like to comment, Guru?
Yeah. Bhagavati Virendra Sakyana Janasvaha. So very nice purpose because of Prabhupada. So generally we may think what is purpose of life. So here this translation and purport gives very clearly what we may seek in life. So here the first line of the translation says, any person upon whom the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are pleased can achieve anything which is very rare to obtain in this world and as well as after death. So we can as well say that goal of our life is to please Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Particularly the spiritual master is that one person whom we should try to please and achieve favor of. Of course, here the elaboration is given that Brahmanas and Vaishnavas carry Lord Vishnu in their heart, and Lord Shiva is also there. He is also a Param Vaishnava, Vaishnava Namyatashamba. So when Kumaras came to Maharaj Prithu's palace, so it was understood that Lord Vishnu was also present with his devotees. So in that sense, everything can be achieved when the spiritual master and Brahmana Vaishnava are all pleased. Yasya Prasada Bhagavat Prasad, which is the last stanza of the song we sing in Mangalarati, generally, is for temples. Guru Ashtak, sorry. So, like that. So it's a very nice thing. So we have everything very nicely given in secrets. And now if we go outside and ask what is success of life, how to please God, they will say so many other things, but we have just everything summarized by our acharyas. So it is very nice that we are fortunate to get this. And not everybody can get this, as we have seen in the previous texts, that it requires a lot of piety from their previous life, so that something auspicious like this can happen. Even to take darshan of the Kumaras was not something very easily possible for any living being. It requires a lot of piety. Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, would you like to comment on text 8?
Is Prabhupada's realization stands out here about the importance of pleasing the spiritual master. If he's pleased, what else is there that we need? What else do I have to achieve? If my spiritual master is pleased, then Krishna is pleased. And if Krishna is pleased, everything becomes possible. That was Srila Prabhupada's personal experience. that he just tried to please his spiritual master and see the result, what wonderful things were possible. So that intense desire to please the spiritual master, with that dedicated heart and soul attempt to please the spiritual master, became so wonderfully fulfilled. So it serves as proof that if the best of the Brahmins, the spiritual master, is satisfied, then Krishna is satisfied. And when he is satisfied, what is there that can't be achieved? Hare Krishna.
Rari Gupta Prabhu writes, Hare Krishna Maharaj, sometimes pious activities are given significance, and at other times they are treated a bit dismissively. Can you say something about that, please?
Generally, pious activities are aimed at achieving some advanced material goal. One wants to go to the heavenly planets by pious activities, and that's considered Trijashapur Akasha Pushpayate. It's considered to be like a flower in the sky. It's meaningless. But there's Bhakti Sukriti, not ordinary Sukriti, but Bhakti Sukriti, past activities related to devotional service, or what's the word? Imbued with devotional service. Those pious activities are in a different category. From another point of view, there are verses like this. What pious activities must I have performed to get the association of the Kumars? Or what pious activities must Yashoda Mai have performed to have the Supreme Personality of Godhead as her son? The answer would be, well, there are no pious activities that would give you that result. It's not possible by ordinary fruitive activities or pious works, not by digging wells or planting trees by the side of the road, giving cows in charity, all of those sorts of wonderful pious activities. There's no amount of that could have enabled Yashoda Mai to have Krishna as her son. It's only possible by the special mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So from that point of view, we can think of these pious activities. Pious activities, they're impressive. Austerities, pious activities. How much of this must I have done, or must she have done? And the answer is no. It needs more than that. Hare Krishna.
So, Maharaj, our pious activity would have something to do with Lord Krishna and his devotees.
I'm sorry, tell me that again.
Our pious activities now directed to service of Krishna and devotees, his devotees.
Yeah, that's not counted in what we would call pious activities. It's
spiritual, on spiritual part.
Yeah, bhakti is beyond pious activities. Chanting of the holy name can't be compared to performing ordinary fruitive activities. This is in a different category.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, our final question before Kirtan, Saraswati. Oh, Murari Gupta Prabhu writes, thank you. And Saraswati Mataji writes, I heard that in Kali Yuga, it's difficult to attain perfection in bhakti by sadhana bhakti alone, but need kripa, siddhi, or mercy of Guru to attain perfection. Is this correct understanding?
Why Kali Yuga alone? Just performing sadhana will be useless without the mercy of the spiritual master. The sadhana is the crucial element for success in sadhana. Mercy of the spiritual master is the crucial element for success in sadhana bhakti. Without the mercy of the Yasya Prasada Nagatir Katopi, without the mercy of the spiritual master, your sadhana won't do anything. It will be useless, practically speaking. We always need the mercy of the spiritual master to achieve success in anything. Hare Krishna.
Okay, final comment from Praveen Prabhu. Go koti danam grahane gagasya prayaga gangodaka kalpa vasa gagyayutam maru suvarna danam govinda kirtir na samam satam sai. Even if one distributes 10 million cows in charity during an eclipse of the sun, lives at the confluence of the Ganges and Yamuna for millions of years, or gives a mountain of gold in sacrifice to the Brahmanas, he does not earn 1/100th part of the merit derived from chanting Hare Krishna.
Not an ordinary fruitive activity.
Okay, we're almost at 8 p.m., but Venkatesh Prabhu, would you like to lead a kirtan?
Okay. Namo Vishnupada Krishna Krishna Nityananda Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Krishna Namaste Saraswati Gaurava Prasarani Nirvishesha Sundara Tasya Jagatan Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jayadvaita Swami Srivasa Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Devo Vishwal Paramahansa Hare अष्टोत्तर श्री वेद से पाल की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। हमारा हजार सातों की जय। प्रेम से करो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु श्रीमद भगवत श्रीवासुदेव गोस्वामी की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपिका श्याम सुंदर की जय। वृंदावन की जय। द्वारकापुरी धाम की जय। नवदीप धाम की जय। हनुमान की जय। वसुदेव की जय। सर्ववेद की जय। all persons in the devotees, all persons in the devotees, all those Guru Shri Gauranga.
His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Ki Jai.
Amaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Mahesh Pandit Prabhu. Thank you to all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.